everyone, and I welcome you all to today's exclusive Fireside Chat on Building Tech with Purpose, Lessons for Developers from Global R&D Leadership. I'm your host, Khushi, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. In today's fast-evolving tech landscape, the true measure of innovation goes beyond lines of code. It lies in the impact technology creates. Developers are no longer just problem solvers, they are change makers shaping how businesses, societies, and individuals experience technology. Building with purpose means aligning innovation with solving real world challenges, driving measurable value, and doing so responsibly. So, in this conversation, we will learn how developers can move from code to impact, balance speed with ethics in product design, and leverage global collaboration while ensuring local relevance. Our expert speaker will also share lessons from leading R&D teams worldwide, common challenges developers face, and how purpose-driven innovation can inspire the next wave of transformative technology. So without further delay, please join me in welcoming our distinguished speaker for today's session, Mr. Navaneet Mishra, Senior Vice President and Head at Hexagon's R&D Center India. He leads Hexagon's largest R&D hub in India with over 2,000 engineers driving innovation in digital reality and autonomous technologies. Previously, he was Vice President at SAP Labs India, managing globalization services across 40 plus countries. An IIT Kanpur alumnus with an executive MBA from IIM, SDA Bikani, and UCLA, he has also been a National Talent Search Scholar and Mathematics Olympiad rank holder. Passionate about enabling student communities and startups, he has spearheaded initiatives like India's first AI Community Center in Hyderabad, a Geospatial Experience Center at T-Hub, and NASSCOM Skills Initiative. He frequently shares his insights at industry forums, academic institutions, and through thought leadership contributions. So let's explore how building technology with purpose today will shape the impact, inclusivity, and innovation of tomorrow's digital world. It's such a pleasure having you, Navaneet, here with me today.
Thank you, Khushi. Thanks for the time. Yes.
So now, without further ado, I would like to get started. So to begin with, Navaneet, I would firstly like to ask that as you see, developers often get caught up in just shipping code. So how can they shift their mindset from writing code to truly creating impact that solves real world problems?
This is a very, very relevant question, Khushi, as well, because as we see now, and if you see the curve as well, there were times when the overall industry grew in headcount. Many people got added to this journey, but slowly many companies then kind of go with a flat phase where it's not the headcount that grows, but they want responsibility to grow, right? To make it scalable, to make it sustainable. And that is where developers are the key factor there to do it differently from the way it was done before. So these days, what is being considered really important is, and when you're truly now competing with global workforce, so it is not anymore now that India is an offshore low-cost center, cost arbitrage the only thing driving. People want that global colleagues want that India innovate, India delivers, India thinks about new things. And those things are only possible if you have the big picture. And when I say big picture, this is a definition for me, myself, it has evolved over a period of time. So, for example, you must know how this piece of code fits in the overall picture. You must know what is the customer's overall landscape is, other than using your solution, which are the other solutions that customer is using. You should also know what market has to offer in addition to or in competition of what you are offering and how that is being consumed. And so once you start knowing all these pieces, then you suddenly realize your responsibility is much more than writing a piece of code and shipping it, which meets ABCD risk criteria. But that is it meeting all the requirements, business requirements that he or she might have now and in future? So, and for that, it's not only the developer, but their managers, their No, we have different structures now, the product owners and the architects. Everybody has to contribute to this. So they should be open now to answer these questions. And we are running a couple of initiatives here where we are asking everyone to spend certain time in learning the basics of business before you start digitalizing the business. So what has happened is we have hired people who have, let's assume, certain level of programming skills, certain level of designing skills, but do they understand the domain a bit? Have they tried to immerse themselves in the respective industrial requirements and understand, okay, what kind of user persona am I addressing? What this person does throughout the day, how this piece of code is going to help. So once we start understanding these details, that is when some sustainable, permanent, and responsible deliveries happen, and then you grow in the value chain as well, which is good for you. So it's not only that it's good for a company or an organization, but it's good for the individual as well.
Yes, and you've rightly put it into words that how prioritizing all these things have become so important in today's era.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, from your global R&D leadership experience, what are some practical ways developers can ensure their work consistently delivers measurable business value?
Okay, so this is not an easy one, yeah. And this is because the definitions of few simple words like quality and like risk changes from continent to continent and culture to culture. Yeah. I will give you a few examples of this. For example, when we let's assume 30% of the budget and 30% of the time is consumed, but your project has moved only 10%. Is this the time that you will raise a red flag? Probably in a lot of Western countries, you will raise a red flag because 1/3 of the time and budget is gone, but the achievement is only 1/10. But it is possible that because of our own internal cultural way of doing things, we might raise the flag only when 80% of budget and 80% of the time is over and only 40% is achieved. And then it leaves very less time for global colleagues to respond or to react to this and find out what should be the next best way. So we have to be sensitive to what that culture is practicing. In India, we are able to cross a busy road. Even a 6-year-old kid is able to cross it. Whereas an adult from a Western country will not be able to do that. We are able to live in unpredictable situations much more easily than Western counterpart. And these are, I'm just saying differences. I'm not saying A is right or B is right. I'm just saying if we have to work together, the definition of risk has to be equal. Similarly, the definition of quality, and this is really the crux of the matter here. Yeah. If you see, again, we'll just take an example of unpacking an iPhone. Yeah. So even when you have not touched this actual screen, or you have not switched it on, or you have not clicked a picture, but the way you remove the box, the way the stickers come out, the way the wires are putting in a round band and you take it out, everything speaks of quality. Yeah. So the quality experience starts from the box itself. So it is not about that, okay, I wrote this piece of code which meets the quality criteria. I have to talk about what is beyond test case. What value is it delivering? Is it user-centric or not? And not only code, our documents, our mails, our designing, anything that we touch should be of high quality. And only then you will be able to merge in these global definitions. So if you are ensuring that the risk definition is common across the globe, if you're ensuring that the quality is meeting the definition, which is global in nature, then everything works well. For example, I remember one person writing a code, and it cleared all the test cases, absolutely. And he did the very, very fast delivery. And everybody in the team was so excited. Hey, among us, this guy's really cracked the code. And then the review happens, and this guy gets, I don't know, a 4 out of 10. Everybody's shocked that it met all the criteria. What happened? And then they realized the way he named the variables there was irrelevant. Nobody can maintain this code 20 years from now. So if you have created a piece which is not maintainable, I mean, we have seen the extreme nice example. See, this Voyager now is traveling beyond the stars. It has gone outside of solar system. It has traveled, I don't know, some millions of miles. and with a 64 KB memory card, 64 KB. Yeah? I won't give my son a mobile phone with that. Nobody takes it. So it's the idea is how good was the design that after so many decades is still working so far from our control center. So are you able to create something which is sustainable is also very, very important. So that's why I say that this quality and risk definition, if you have got that right, got that aligned across the global context, then you will have a wonderful journey ahead and a wonderful career growth in today's multi-country, corporate-driven, IT setup.
Yes, Navneet. And also with the real world examples that you shared, it becomes much easier for us to actually relate to the sustainability factor that is so much evolving and it should be so much addressed nowadays.
Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes. And next, moving forward, I would like to ask that what do you think are the lessons that developers can take from global R&D practices about building technology that is both scalable and responsibly designed for diverse markets?
Yes. Okay. Luckily, here what has happened is we have in last more or less across many companies in last 5 to 10 years, there have been a definitive improvement. Earlier, when somebody developed, when I was a developer some time back, probably more than 2 decades back. So what was there is that we built for functions and features alone. Yeah, we didn't bother about is it performant in terms of if it was exposed to volume data, will it be really performing so well? Is it secure? Is it protected from cybersecurity threats and attacks? And while we saw that at times it is modular and configurable, but we didn't bother about whether it is scalable or not. So tomorrow, if it needs to be integrated to 5 different modules, will it work still so beautifully and so seamlessly or not? So these things were added on later after the core was done and delivered. We thought if it is meeting the feature and functional requirement, then everything is good. And that is gone out of the window now. So everybody, as team of 5 or 10, whatever the team is, they are responsible that the first delivery itself is performant. You must have those test cases available where you're testing it on volume. You must ensure that it is a secure, very secure piece of code. You must ensure that it is modular, configurable, scalable, integrable. Everything has to be done in the very, very first instance. So if these guys are doing these days, then nothing to worry. If you're not doing it, if you're doing it as an add-on, okay, let me first build functions and features so that everybody likes the UX of it and clicks here and there. But you know what, the moment it goes to production live, then everything crashes, then you are not on the right path. So build these in from the very first delivery. Talk about it. Talk within your team. Negotiate with your product owners. Say that this is what it takes to create a product. It is not that you can create it in few hours. It takes days because I want it that 5 years from now, it is still performant and still secure.
Yes. And definitely this functioning becomes more important when all the teams are involved. So as you see that the cross-border teams bring incredible diversity, but also along with it some challenges.
Yes,
so
please.
How do you feel that how can developers collaborate globally while ensuring products remain locally relevant and culturally sensitive?
This cultural sensitivity is a big thing, and thank you for raising this, Kosi, that we have to bring this culture as the mainstream discussion now. Yeah. This is the problem with engineers. I was myself an engineer, and I thought my definition is the definition, which is not the case. Culture is almost like a language. If you are culturally different, then you can't even read them if you are not sensitive to their asks. So how a European person will behave, how within Europe, how a German or a Swiss person will behave, how a person in UK, when they say something, what does it mean? When a person in the US says something, what is the real interpretation? So these things, if it is not taught, and unfortunately, this is not as of now scaled in India. So we have seen, a few companies taking very diligent care of informing their developer workforce or their workforce about cultural sensitivity, training them very properly about what do you say and what do you understand while you're communicating with them. but not all are doing this. And I'm very happy that we are discussing about this. So it is rather critical that you understand, because some are very understated, some are very overt, some are very imaginative, and some are very conservative. So if we know the culture of these different countries, then we have a chance to succeed in this very, very diverse workforce. And yes, you are right. The diversity obviously brings, the moment one single team has people from 4 different countries or continents, you start realizing, okay, wow, because you see that how different ideas are coming, how their different experiences are stitched together, and how you're creating a product which is much more sustainable. And because different perspectives have gone into this. But so that is advantage for the organization. But to make it work, you need to invest in training. It's just not possible to someone to be born and brought up in one country and suddenly start understanding the nuances of other culture. You need the experts, and you need to be extremely good in listening. So, Khushi, what we have missed while we are in the rush of creating larger, bigger, more responsible teams, sometimes we have forgotten the skill of listening. We are not patient. We hear half the sentence and we think, yeah, I know it. We hear 3/4 of a sentence and our mind starts preparing a response for that already, which is also not right. You have to be much more patient. You have to let it sink in. And it is okay if you have not spoken in 1 or 2 meetings, because you are just absorbing. And once you understand what they said and what they meant in your language, in your context, then you are in a much better position to respond. So absolutely critical. It's beautiful to have globally diverse team, but it also puts the pressure on all the organization leaders and the managers of these teams to ensure that the team is culturally tuned or trained well to understand the nuances from the complete globe, whenever they're dealing with someone. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Navaneet. And what do you think with AI in the picture? How does this culturally sensitive thing need to work for all of us?
Yeah, so I mean, AI as of now, it is in all the media, right? I mean, it's newspapers, it's social media, and again, we are seeing both the views. Some are saying, "Oh, wow," and we are not creating anymore the Superman; we are creating the God now. And on the other hand, people say, "Yeah, but where is the money coming from? Are you generating money because of AI? What are the use cases where somebody started paying you for that use case?" So it has obviously the whole spectrum. And in this spectrum, the first and foremost important thing is that one has to study a lot and knowingly different perspectives. Because as we know that all these social media, the content, the way they are designed is, if you watch certain kind of reels, you get more of those reels. If you put like on some of your comments, you see more of such comments appearing in your feed. So we have to be cautious and conscious enough to listen to the diverse views and form your own opinion, and don't lose in all this your faculty of thinking. Yes, treat AI as your supporter, as your assistant, and get help from this. I will not deny that at all. Yeah. Do that, but don't let your thinking be outsourced because this is tricky. I mean, so yesterday I was driving somewhere. I had to go and meet a friend, and Airtel data was down. And normally, when you go anywhere from A to B, you put the Google map, put it on your driving next to you, and you drive through that. And the data Airtel was gone for this half an hour, and there was nothing available. So should I stop driving? Should I not apply my basic brains and still follow the science, or remember how the road is going to curve and where the possible exit is? So all these things have to be there, not to survive, but to ensure that if something tomorrow comes, you are able to deal with it better because you have let your faculties be as good as it was. And that is why, if you see even now, the calculators are introduced later. It's not that when you put somebody in standard 1 or 2, you give them a calculator. It does multiply, and you don't need to remember the table of 5 or 12 or whatever that was. But why we do that is so that our brain is trained and tuned to do the basic structure and then seek help. Yes. So basic structure should still be existing. So in this AI world, it is complicated on two fronts. You have multiple views. And second is take them as help and not yet outsource your thinking or emotions to them.
Yes, and definitely idea of thought is something that is always above all of the technology and all of the advances that we evolve to. That has to be there, and that has to be followed with all of the nuances that we are evolving with.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So moving ahead, Navneet, I would like to ask that could you share an example where diverse perspectives in a global R&D setup led to a breakthrough solution that a single market team might have missed?
Yeah. Again, I mean, I will not name per se the product, yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. So we are talking about very high-end breakthrough scanner that Hexagon was developing. The hardware was done at a place outside of India, and we were doing the software part of it in the sense that how it will connect, how it will scan and download the data over Wi-Fi. And how will you, because these things don't have large screens, right, these scanners, but still you should be able to do your process without problems and all that. So yes, it's a breakthrough product. It needs, and so in India, for example, when we were testing it, we also, one is we knew that there are many unknowns, and this is good to be done in India because we are not worried about not knowing the complete end result. Yeah. So if I go back 20 years, the way wedding events were being planned is it was a village event. Yeah. Many people contributed, and somehow at the right time, everything came together. So we also had that feeling that, yeah, there are different technologies, new learnings, and we have to really be very, very memory optimized for whatever we are doing. But we also know that it is possible that while this is happening, that Wi-Fi goes off. Now, if you bring that kind of testing inside, you have made a really, really sustainable product. You know until what point file has been downloaded, and you hold on to that in the system. And once it continues back, you don't have to download from the beginning, but from the place where you had left. Though it is one single file, though it is one logical place, but you store those kind of things. So what I realized is that it was a beautiful combination of what a Swiss German hardware and Indian ingenious software can come and bring together and make it go live in such a short time frame from scratch to everything. Yeah. So this is one example where, because of the cultural and geographical differences, you could cover many use cases which probably other places would find it difficult to imagine. Yeah. So, you take this scanner, go inside a lift, and suddenly lift door closes, and now you have no signals. So your testing continues. So there are ways in which, you can create these new test scenarios, design the whole product on those lines to understand that what kind of different connectivities can exist. So yeah, this was a good learning that we had.
Yeah, and definitely all of our technology community is also, always excited to know about all these things that we're sharing with them, because definitely it could help them out when they might be, facing any similar situation or going through some similar circumstance. So maybe they can relate, maybe they can ideate to actually perform better per se. So, yeah, Navneet, I feel that looking ahead, what do you think that's one key mindset or skill that you believe developers must adopt to build technology with lasting purpose and global impact?
Just one thing. Okay. Okay.
Of course, you
Yeah.
can point out a few of them.
Okay. So one, if at all, I would say that, and this I see even within my company. So when I ask youngsters to say what they have joined as a fresh graduates, and after a year or so, I said, okay, what are you proud of? And so I hear that they mention one specific language or one specific framework, that they say, okay, I didn't know so much about, say, cloud technology, and I'm really confident in last 1 year now. Or I was a beginner in Java, but now I feel that I have a lot of expertise in Java. And this worries me a bit that what if it's not Java next year? Something else will come up, and it has come up, right? So these things keep changing themselves. So if they could be the true sense a problem solver, that irrespective of what technology comes in their hand as a tool, if they could be and identify themselves as a smart problem solver, then it is much more scalable for them. So I feel that if they were treating themselves as owner or something, so everything starts changing. The moment you say, okay, I own this piece of code, I'm responsible for this, then you suddenly broaden your horizon about what all can happen and why it should be such high quality. So I feel that if one skill that they can bring up, not one, but at least an owner problem solver approach, then it becomes a lot more sustainable for them and for the organization that have them. Yeah. So this would be my take. So don't identify yourself with a technology. Identify yourself that you can really go inside the problem statement and can find the solutions bottom up. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely all of our developers will be looking forward to, adapting this skill, as you have mentioned that from your personal experience and from your personal expertise, and definitely, always looking forward to things that are, we are evolving to with the current scenario is definitely something that all of the developers can look forward to. So I think that this has really been very also engaging for all of our developers as well, because they could actually, see and learn from the real world examples and the insights that you shared. And lastly, I would like to ask that what do you think about the Leader Circle program here at TechGig, and what are your views on this initiative?
So I'm very pleased that somebody took this upon themselves to try to bridge the gap between what has been gathered as experience versus where probably this experience will help someone, because only then a community gets built up. Yeah. So in this connected world, we have also become very disconnected because of the speed that we need to maintain. And I thank TechGig for thinking about it and in coming up with this platform. So this is really, really helpful. If I would have learned like this when I was a youngster, it would have been certainly very, very valuable for me. Yeah. So
yes, and
thank you,
Navaneet, for this, amazing and engaging discussion, because it's always encouraging to hear from you, from your personal expertise and insights about all of this that we are learning, that we are evolving towards. And I'm glad that you would address that it's helping the industry leaders and developers to bridge the gap together. So yeah, with that, we wrap up this truly insightful fireside chat on building tech with purpose, lessons for developers from Global R&D Leadership. A heartfelt thank you to you, Navaneet, for sharing such valuable insights, experiences, and forward-looking perspectives. Your thoughts have given us a much deeper understanding of how developers can move from code to impact, balance speed with responsibility, and harness global collaboration to create technology that truly serves people and businesses across borders. It was such a pleasure having you with us, and thank you once again for being a part of this engaging and thought-provoking session.
Thanks a lot, Kusi, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share. Sometimes it also helps us structure our thoughts. So yes, that is indeed helpful for me as well.
Yes, definitely, Navaneet. And it was an absolute pleasure hosting this fireside chat. Thank you for joining. Have a great day ahead. Stay tuned for more such conversations from TechGig. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.